Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to my channel. Anyways, today's video is actually amazing because there've been amazing good news. Tomorrow, internationals are going to be coming inside. Okay, so I came to tell you guys the other time that the lockdown was finally over. I don't know how many of you guys believed me, but it's actually over. The lockdown is over, and internationals are going to be coming. They're going to be coming from tomorrow. Okay, and it's actually really cool. As much as I won't say I'm so excited because me being in my room, I didn't have any roommates, guys, and I don't know if I'm going to have a roommate because the internationals coming in does not mean that they're going to like go to their rooms or something. They're going to be quarantined. I remember one of my friend actually really telling me of this guy that was just complaining of how he did not have money, how he's broke and he does not have money to pay for his flight ticket. And there are a lot of internationals that are actually complaining about the flight ticket because guys, it's almost like 20,000 RMB. Okay. It's almost like 20,000 RMB to come to China right now. So it's really, really expensive. Very expensive. A lot of people are complaining they don't have the money and everything. But I'm still happy that finally the corona is over. Well, would I say the corona is over because there's another lockdown, guys? There's another lockdown currently, okay? But at least we can see that there's this whole relief that internationals can actually come inside because before internationals cannot come inside, but now since internationals can come inside, I'm really happy. So this live video, I'm going to be starting with the good news. Somebody actually sent me a message on YouTube, and then the person was actually telling me that, oh, Oma, I got the scholarship. Let me read it for you guys. I'm so excited, Oma. I won the CSC Scholarship Type A 2022. I applied through the embassy with their details. It was actually Creativitor. That's the name. He was telling me that he actually won the Type A scholarship with the embassy, which I was so happy about because, guys, I've been talking about the embassy scholarship. I don't know how many people have been joining, but I've been talking about the embassy scholarship. I literally even had a meeting with one of my friends talking about the embassy scholarship, and it was like this huge relief and joy to actually see that somebody had gotten the scholarship. So it's like, oh my god, this works. I'm not sure this person is actually from Nigeria, but I don't know the person's country. But wherever the country the person, was texting me from, I was super excited, guys. And I even did that meeting with my friend. She actually told me how she got the embassy scholarship, the type A embassy scholarship. And I did a video talking about it. Guys, if you have not watched it, go and watch that video, okay? Because in that video, I also gave out the agency number that she used. So if you're in Nigeria and then you use you use that agency number to apply, I'm so sure that you're going to get it also because it's actually a good opportunity. When my friend was applying for that scholarship, she did not even think she was going to get it, okay? She didn't think she was going to get it. She just tried. And moreover, she actually applied to type A and type B. Okay, so she did not really depend on just the type A scholarship. She applied to both type A and type B. The type A she applied to the embassy, the type B she applied through school. Okay, but she used like different emails. That's something you can actually do when you're trying to apply for this scholarship. You can actually use different email to apply. Okay, and I'm actually happy that I know someone that actually got the scholarship with the embassy. That way I can even come and tell you guys about it and even help you guys. For those of you that have been sending me message on Instagram, I'm so happy that some of you are even getting the scholarship. It means so much. There's this relief, just knowing that okay, the thing that you're doing, it's working for people. Okay. So I'm happy that some of you are getting the scholarship. Those of you messaging me and everything. I'm super happy for you guys. Okay. I'm happy for you guys. Just know that. Okay. So I'm going to read another message that someone actually sent to me. I said, "Good morning, great mind." Oh, I'm great mind. Thank you. I say, I admire the fact that you keep sharing your experiences in China with others. It goes a long way to help those who aspire to live over there. This is the reason I'm doing this. This is the reason I come out here to talk about this. Okay, even though that I don't have a large audience, we're almost close to 3,000 subscribers, guys. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel, and also like this video. Okay, I'm super happy that I still get to help some people. I'm not really concerned about the audience now, because I know that one thing about YouTube, the more you post your videos, like, it will keep getting to more people. So I'm not really concerned about how many people I'm talking to right now, even if it's one person, like, even if it's one person that gets the scholarship. I feel really, really filled. I feel really fulfilled. So I'm so happy that someone can actually reach out to me and say some really nice words of encouragement. Okay, telling me that, oh, okay, it's nice that I'm actually sharing experience. Guys, today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about the best way to migrate to China. But before that, I'm just going to be reading some really good questions that you guys were asking. I'm going to be answering those questions one after the other. So if you have any question also, you can actually leave in this video. I'll also answer them. Okay, so let's start with number one question by Israel. Israel was asking, I want to ask, if you're applying through type B, do you need to pay the university application fee? Because the application fees start from 30,000 naira upward. Okay, yeah, if you're applying for type B, you need to understand that there are some schools that you have to pay application fee. Okay, so it's not every school that you pay application fee. There are just some schools that you pay application fee. A lot of people like run away from paying application fees because obviously who wants to spend money. But I will advise you that you cannot just, like, do not look away from schools that you have to pay application fee, because a lot of people are running away from that school, and that's why I feel like that school will give you that scholarship, because a lot of people are not applying to that school. They don't want to pay application fee. So do not run away from schools that you have to pay application fee just because you're like, oh, you don't want to spend money, you don't know if you're going to get scholarship, or I don't know if I'm going to get the admission. Do not think like that. Okay, make sure that if you have found your course in a school that you feel like, oh, this school have a very high acceptance rate. Remember, high acceptance rate is very, very important. I always tell you guys that. Okay, so when you found a school that have a high acceptance rate and you like that school, even though they're going to collect application fee from you, please apply. Okay, so don't run away from it. Yes, there are some schools that actually collect application fees. I know they collect application fees from like ranging around 700 RMB. I'm not really sure, but I'm not sure if there's any school that collect about 1000 RMB, but I know they're about 700 RMB. I'm going to really confirm, because each school have their own different application fee. I just know for my school, yeah, my school collects application fee. Okay, so but when I was applying through the type A scholarship with the Ministry of Education, they did not ask me for any application fee. And that was one of the things I was even happy for, because I came here, and when I was asking some of my friends that applied to my school, they were like, they paid application fee, and I'm like, I didn't pay. Oh, that's what we call favor. That I just feel like, see, and this type A with Ministry of Education is really amazing and it's really cool, because it's like when you're applying through the Ministry of Education, there's so many things that they will just close their eyes to. Okay, so like me, I didn't pay application fee. I did not. There's so many things I did not do. It's almost like when you get this type A with this Ministry of Education, you've already gotten it. You just relaxed and everything. You're just gonna be relaxed. So yeah, you pay application fee. Some universities ask for that. Okay, let's go to the next question. So somebody asked, okay, let me just read this. um I'm in my final year, but I have one more semester to go. So can I apply for masters with that? Okay, I'm currently in India doing my bachelor's biotechnology. This is Daniela. Was asking, was saying that, oh, I'm in my final year and I'm currently doing biotechnology in India. Can I apply for my master's? This is what a lot of people do. Okay, they are in school and they're about to graduate, and they feel like, okay, since I'm about to graduate, the best thing for me to do is actually to apply for scholarship or to apply for opportunities. This is something you can also do. I think you can also do that. I think you can also do that, but you have to use like, you have to. A lot of people who are in school that apply for masters. A lot of people who are doing their bachelors, they apply for their masters. When they are applying, they have not yet graduated. So they just use the unofficial things. So maybe your results. It's just that I don't know about whether you guys write WAEC. Oh, sorry. That's for secondary school. Sorry. It's my mind. For bachelors, I don't think you have to graduate before you start applying for masters. Start applying now. A lot of people who got masters now, they were applying before they even graduated. Okay. So you don't have to wait till you graduate before you now start applying for your masters. If you have some documents that you can actually give to the school, you can actually start applying. That's what I think. So yes, Daniela who asked this question, you can actually start applying. You don't need to wait till you graduate because who have time? Do you have time to graduate then you now start applying? No. We save like I would not even advise you to graduate first before you now start applying because okay, when you graduate, you go back to like Nigeria. I don't know if this is a Nigerian that asked this question, but so when you graduate, is it that you go back to Nigeria or what? When you go back to Nigeria and start applying, I don't know, but I would advise you to actually start applying now as you're in India. Just start applying, give them whatever information they have, and just communicate. Like if you're about graduating, just tell them, "Oh, I'm about graduating, so so and so and so." So yeah, that's all they need. They just need information. Another person asks, is the 1 year Chinese preparatory course also included in the Chinese government scholarship for undergraduates? Yeah, yeah, if you're doing like a Chinese thoughts, if the course that you're doing is Chinese thoughts, yes, you will take 1 year Chinese. Yes, it's something that you do. I did 1 year Chinese before I even started my major because my course is taught in Chinese. Yes, my course is taught in Chinese. It's not easy, but I think you just doing the language. It's not necessarily like they will teach you what's they'll teach you the exact Chinese because if you do 1 year Chinese, it's just basic Chinese, probably you'll be learning. Okay. When you go and start your major, the Chinese that you'll be doing is kind of different from what you were taught that whole 1 year. I feel like the reason why they do 1 year Chinese for you before you start your major is so that when you start the class, you will not be it's not be looking weird that oh I've never seen this, oh I've never seen this, but you can always translate and read. Okay, so yeah, I did 1 year Chinese and then I started my major. So if your course is Chinese taught, just know that you're going to do 1 year Chinese. It's going to cover the scholarship. So when your course is taught in Chinese, you're going to do 1 year Chinese and it's gonna be in the scholarship. So Laura asks the application letter before submitting my documents. Sister Alma, good day. The Federal Scholarship Board, there is no avail scholarship going on for type A. So for this, I'm really shocked. Like she said that there's no ongoing scholarship going on for type A. This is something that is done yearly. Okay. So no matter whether there's corona or there's no corona, this is something that is done yearly. The scholarship is done yearly. So whether there's corona, there's no corona. So I don't think that information is right that there's no ongoing scholarship currently because they're still paying us. You will not say, okay, because of corona, now those people that have gotten scholarship that you will not pay them. Every year they pick students, even up to now. CSC is still picking students, even as they didn't allow internationals to come into China for almost 2 years. Guys, almost 2 years, internationals have been having their classes from their own country. This is the first time they are coming to China tomorrow. Okay, from tomorrow, internationals are coming to China. So even with that, they were still collecting students. Most of the people even come safe and new students safe that have been doing their courses online and stuff. So I don't think that information is right that the embassy or what is not collecting students. So clarify that, okay? Yeah, so I think those are the questions I'm going to be answering now. So let's go to the topic for today. Today's topic, I'm going to be talking about the easiest way to migrate to China. Like, guys, this is just like something that this is just that one video you need to watch. I always say this, but yeah, I wanted to say it again. So let's talk about like the different visa, like the short term visa that you can use when you're coming to China. Okay. So we have like the tourist visa. That's like short term visa. And then this visa is valid for like up to like 2 years. Okay. So if you're coming to China and then you want to come through the tourist visa, it's valid for 2 years. A lot of people use this visa because China has a lot of places that you can go out to see. Let me tell you that because I don't have time to be going around. But China have a lot of places that you can visit. So a lot of people from different part of the world they come to China to visit a lot of places. Okay, so you can actually use the tourist visa. So let's talk about the business visa. So the business visa, there are two types of the business visa. They have the M type visa, and then it's given to applicants for trade or business activities. And then they have the F type visa that is awarded to applicants that are visiting China for cultural or scientific exchanges. For this kind of visa, I feel like it is valid for 3 good months. Even when I went to renew my passport just of recent, and I met some Nigerians and they were really talking about this business visa. Some people they're only allowed to get this visa for like a month. But I know that yes, if you really want to get this visa, it is valid for like 3 months. So if you're thinking that you want to come and do business, you can come through business, you come be renewing the visa every time. I think it works. But I don't know if that one is the surest way to get like this permanent residency. Okay. With the business visa is for business, just coming to do like business, buying and selling, to interact with companies and everything. And then we have like the student visa. So student visa, like student visiting China for studies, it lasts shorter than 6 months. Okay. So students who will be in China for longer than 6 months, they will apply for the X1 visa. I think that's the visa that I'm using. That's the S1 visa. That one can take it's longer than 6 months. So some students come for just 6 months, and maybe most of those kind of students, maybe they are doing like language or transfer student, maybe they're coming from another school, they come here and then they do that student visa for just that period. And then we have like the work visa. Okay. The work visa, or they call it Z visa. It must be sponsored by the company that is employing you. And this visa is valid for like 30 days after the applicant arrives in China. Okay. And then you now have to now apply for like a resident permit, like a temporary resident permit, because I don't know if they have like a permanent resident permit. All resident permits in China is maybe look at like a temporary resident permit. Okay. And you're going to apply for the duration that you're going to be working with this company. So if you are going to be working this company for like 3 years or more, then with your work visa, the company is going to apply for you to work with them for that period. Okay. And then we have the transit visa. This visa is issued to applicants who are transiting from China on their way to their final destination. And then this is known as the G visa. Okay, so maybe you're transiting from China to like a final destination. We call this one a G visa. So, guys, talking about the student visa, I feel like the student visa is one of the legit way people, a lot of internationals use the student visa. And the reason why they use the student visa is because they just feel like with the student visa, it's easy. And a lot of people don't really spend money using the student visa because when you apply for the student visa, sometimes people use the CSC scholarship. Okay, that's what a lot of people use. People use the CSC scholarship, and the other scholarship apart from the CSC scholarship. So that's why a lot of people, when they want to stay back in China, they like to use that student visa. Some people even apply for just language and then they use the student visa. And then when I went to renew my passport I was actually just overhearing this man, and he was just talking of how a lot of internationals, stay back. Some people have to like renew their visas like every month. I feel like that's so stressful. Like the best way to do is apply for student visa, or you can apply for work. Okay, so if you're able to get a job in China, and one of the jobs that is like people always like companies are always looking for from internationals, it's just this teaching English, teaching jobs. Though a lot of people don't really like teaching jobs because it's not in line with their career. So if it's not in line with your career, it's fine. But a lot of people use teaching jobs. You don't have to use teaching jobs. Okay. I'm just saying a lot of people use teaching jobs. Okay. So guys, let's talk about like work visa. The work visa. Oh, I just finished talking about it. Okay. Let's talk about marriage visa. Oh my god, the marriage visa, guys. A lot of people migrate to China using that marriage visa. Okay. It's not a lot of people because I don't know how many people use the marriage visa, but even though you marry a Chinese person, the truth is you are still looked at as an international. It does not mean that you have like permanent residency, or then you have citizenship because you're married to Chinese. That's not how it works here. If you like go and marry Chinese, the only thing is that you have a temporary residence too. And then every year, I think every year you still renew. I don't know how long you still renew, but you still renew that visa. Okay, it does not mean just because, oh, I married a Chinese person, then yes, you're free to like to have a citizenship. Nope, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So let's talk about like China immigration eligibility criteria for permanent residency. So the criteria to get like permanent residency. So for you to get permanent residency, he or she should be married to a Chinese citizen or an immigrant with permanent residency for at least 5 years. He or she should also have lived in China for at least 9 months of each of these years. Huh? So, guys, I didn't even know that. Okay, when you marry like a Chinese person, you can even like have the whole permanent residency. Okay, so if you are married to a Chinese person, you can have a permanent residency. It's not a temporary residency, and also that means you have lived in China for at least 9 months of each of the 5 years. That's if you're already married to a Chinese person. Then he or she should have made a direct investment in certain sectors of the Chinese economy for a minimum of 3 consecutive years. Okay, so that is like for you to apply for permanent residency, you have to have made a direct investment in certain sectors of the Chinese economy for at least a minimum of 3 consecutive years. Then he or she should have a full time job at the level of an associate professor, assistant general manager, assistant researcher, and factory director or higher. So if you're able to get like an associate professor, you are also, it's also possible for you to apply for a permanent residency in China, okay? And if you're also like assistant general manager, assistant researcher, or like a factory director, or even higher, you can also apply for permanent residency. He or she should have made an outstanding contribution to China. So for you to also be able to get this permanent residency, you have to have made contribution to China. He or she should be like unmarried. He or she should be an unmarried child below the age of 18 years with parents who are Chinese citizens or immigrants with permanent residency. So even though you have parents who have permanent residency and then you are below the age of 18 years old, you can also get the permanent residency also. And if your parents are Chinese citizens, you can also get like permanent residency, okay? Then he or she should be above the age of 60 years with relatives only in China. He or she should also have been spending at least 16 months of a year in China. So you also need to be like, maybe if you're 60 years old, maybe now, if somebody already have, if you're a citizen of China, or you already have like permanent residency, you can bring your mother or father who's around 60 years, and then maybe they have spent up to like 9 months or a year in China, they can also apply for permanent residency. Okay, so that's something that I think that you can actually think about. Let's talk about how you can apply, or the things that you need, for this application. So you need like applicant valid passport. So you need a valid passport. You need a health guarantee certificate by a medical organization by the Chinese embassy, and also you need like a certificate, like to show that you have a clean criminal record, that you're not a criminal or anything like that. You need like four recent passport size photographs, and then you need other documents to prove that you know you can stay here. Okay, then you don't need to pay application fee of 1,500 RMB, and then that's per applicant, and a foreign permanent residency permit fee of 300 RMB. So that's a total of almost like 1,800 RMB. The time that it takes to process, it can take up to 6 months from the day a China immigration application was submitted. So it can take around like that 6 months. Okay. Then during this time, all the applicant documents will be investigated. They will want to verify if those documents that you have submitted, they are actually true. That's what they will use to know that, okay, yes, this person, like this person, what the person has submitted is the truth. So in order for you to maintain that residency permit, you need to spend at least 3 months each year in China. So in 5 years, the permanent holder should have spent at least 1 year in China, at least. Okay, so a foreigner permanent residency permit awarded to an adult immigrant is valid for 10 years. So if now they've given you the permanent residency, it's valid for like 10 years, and it is also valid for like the minimum years is 5 years. So you can always renew it every time it expires. So guys, let me go back and talk about those people who are eligible for permanent residency in China. Okay, he or she should have been married to a Chinese citizen or an immigrant with permanent residency for at least 5 years. He or she should also have lived in China for at least 9 months of each of these 5 years. He or she should have made a direct investment in certain sectors of the Chinese economy for a minimum of 3 consecutive years. He or she should have a full time job at the level of an associate professor, assistant general manager, assistant researcher, a factory director, or higher. He or she should have made an outstanding contribution to China. He or she should be an unmarried child below the age of 18 years with parents who are Chinese citizens or immigrants with permanent residency. He or she should be above the age of 60 years with relatives only in China. So these are information that I feel like is really good, those of you that want to move to China, this is good, 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 good information. So let's talk about like some of the permanent residency identity application. Okay, I talked about like the work visa. So we have the working staff, the foreign staff working in Shanghai. You have the professional staff. We also have like if you're applying for the special talent visa, and also overseas Chinese with PhD degrees. Also, you have the foreign investigator. So let me just read out the kind of visas that you can actually that they have, something that you can actually look into. So they have the mail service sign certificates service visa. We have the group body sign certificate group visa. We have the special area trip tour. We have the tourist visa. We have the home keep residence visa. Those are visas that you can actually that they apply through. We have the long-term private matter visa, short expect private people things services sign short-term visa, and then long expect study habits sign certificate X1. That's for study, long-term study visa. And then we also have the short-term study visa, which is the short expect study habits sign certificate X2 short-term study visa. And then we have the stop keep certificates and PSTL stay. Um, okay, I've said this one. And then we have the APEC Business Service Trip Roll Card, APEC Business Travel Card. We have the Green Card, outside country. That is green card is for people that are outside country people, green card. That's for permanent residency. So they have green card. But I think that this green card is hard. I've not heard people say, oh, I have the green card. No. But it's not like other countries that you can easily just get green card. Okay. We have the Trade Easy Science Certificate Trade Visa. Then we have the Long Expert Group Police Science Certificates. All this information, I got it while I was applying for my student visa. Okay, though I'm still in the process. Non-science certificate, no visa. Trade Easy Certificate, trade visa. Long Expert Group Police Science Certificate. These are the names. Don't mind that it sound boring, but these are the names that they call it. Talent visa, people talent sign certificate, short term family union visa, short expert group police sign certificate, long term family reunion visa, long expert group police sign certificate. I don't know if I've said that. Please, if I'm repeating myself, because let me know, okay? I think I've said this one. So while I was actually okay, yeah, we have the permit visa, we have the sign certificate extend expect extension, we have settling home sign certificate settlement visa, work do sign certificate, that's for work visa. We have visa tax sign certificate visitor visa, trip tour sign certificate tourist visa, past territory sign certificate. We have the transit visa. I talked about the transit visa, like if you're transiting to another place for a long time or some from China to another place. Which is funny, like why did one issuing that visa? I don't know. Okay, we have the take service science certificate C crew member visa, up to life remember by science certificate J1. We have resident journalist visa, we have the pro time com magnificenta member by sign visiting journalist visa. I think this one is for the tourists too. Then we have the outside pay sign certificate, diplomatic visa. We have present present encounter sign certificate, and then we have the courtesy visa. Hey, God, guys, so many visas. I swear, like there's so many. When I was doing my student visa, that's when I was able to like compile this information. I don't know, they sound so boring, but these are the different visas that they have. Okay, for those of you that are like, oh, they want to come to China, you want to apply for visa. These are different visa that they have. There's even my friend who was talking about this whole visa application, and my friend was talking about that if you want to even move to migrate to China, you can actually start your own business. You can actually come and say, "Oh, I want to start my business," and then you migrate to China. But the only thing is that you have to pay 8,000 RMB. That you want to start your business, and also they will have to assign a Chinese person to you because that Chinese person will be watching what you're doing and everything, know the business that you're doing. Maybe you just be like an assistant or something. But yes, so you can also use that, oh, I'm starting my business to migrate to China. You can use that. Oh, okay, I got a job. Maybe if you get a job, you can apply for work visa. Also, you can also apply through like student visa. For some of you that have been asking me, what am I doing in China? I'm studying, okay? I'm a student. Um, so you can also apply for the student visa. They have the short term student visa and they have the long term student visa. For the short term student visa, I actually read it for you guys, and it's about like 6 months, you know. But for the long term student visa, um it's almost around like 1 year. So for those of you that are looking to migrate to China, I hope this video was really, really helpful, guys. I hope you guys got the different visas that they have in China. But let me just be real with you guys. Is it easy to get this? A lot of people complain that, oh, it's not easy to actually get the visa and everything. But I don't want to discourage you guys, because just because someone didn't get does not mean you will not get. If all your documents are complete, if you have the required work skill, the work experience, you can always apply for jobs, especially English jobs. I always tell people, see, in China they are looking for English teachers. So if you are an English teacher, you have experience with teaching English, you have experience with teaching, okay, this is an area you can actually look into. When you come to China, you can apply for teaching jobs, or you can apply for jobs like teaching jobs, English teaching jobs, okay, because that's something that is moving. Apply to Beijing. I'm telling you, it's hot. Like the money people make from teaching English, guys, even students actually work. Okay, it's just that if they catch you, or here is your case, because with your student visa you cannot work. So that the only thing about China is that when you apply for a certain visa, that's the visa you use. You apply for student visa, you go to school. If you want to work, then you now have to change your student visa to an internship visa, and then you can work with the permission of your school. Obviously, that you ask permission from your school that you want to work. And then you can always apply for the internship visa, and then you can work. Okay, this is what a lot of people do. I think this is really safe. Rather than using your student visa to work, I think it's best that you apply for the student visa and then you apply for internship, so that you will not put yourself in problems. Because if now you went to apply for student visa, you cannot now be working with a student visa, because if they catch you, they'll deport you back to your country. So that's something you need to understand. Okay, so if you apply for work visa, with work visa you are free. But there's some people that don't have papers. Let's talk about the people that don't have papers. I even heard that, because during this corona period, a lot of internationals went back to their country. And while they were going, that's when China realized that there were a lot of internationals that did not have papers. When I mean papers, like they don't have student visa, they don't have work visa, they did not have any paper. And they were in China, and then they were asking their questions like, how is it possible that you were here without any paper? When police people did not see you, then they will say, yes, they saw me, but I used to run. Ah, God, there are a lot of people like that. They were like that. They don't have the papers, and they just used to run. Like they just make sure they are not caught. But I don't think that's the best way, because why would you want to be deported? Because one thing about being deported, I don't think it's easy for you to come back to the country. Like if you're just deported, right? So why don't you just apply for work? See, any work you want to get here and you get it. The only thing is that some people get jobs and they are still denied visa, and that's because they don't have experience. Okay, so any kind of work you want to get here, make sure that you're able to get the experience. Even if you don't get the experience, see, I'll just advise you, check your country, look for a company in your country, ask them to give you a letter of anything that, oh, I have experience in this. So I'm not telling you to cheat, but that's what a lot of people do. They will go back to your country, try to look for a paper to show that, oh, I have 2 years experience in this, so that when they're applying for their visa, they will not be rejected. Because you can get a job, right? But you can still be rejected visa if you don't have experience in that job. So it's like, okay, why are you working here in this field when you don't have experience to work there? So a lot of people do that. Also, people use students, they will still use their student visa, enter China and be working. So, but it's still very risky. I feel like they don't. I don't know. I feel like 80% or 90% of students in China are working, of international students in China are working. That's the honest truth. I'm not working because I've not gotten that confidence to work, but I'm 100% sure that 80% of internationals, or let me I'm exaggerating. Let's say 60%. Let's say 60% of internationals in China are teaching English. They're making money. Okay, so that's something you can actually do. If you want to migrate to China, you can actually apply for STEM visa and then you can teach, or apply for work. But if they catch you, you'll be deported. You can apply for work visa, you can get married to a Chinese person, but it doesn't mean that you get the citizenship. Okay, it just means that, oh, okay, I'm married to a Chinese person, I can apply for permanent residency. That's something you can do. You can also, like, what else? How do people migrate again self apart from student work, marriage, business, starting your own business? I'm actually telling you the most authentic way you can actually use to stay back in China. Okay, doesn't mean that it's easy. Even this pathway doesn't mean that it's still easy, but this is the way a lot of internationals migrate to China. You get a job, mostly English jobs, or working in schools as professor assistantship and stuff, working in schools, English jobs, just getting work. But getting work has to be related with international companies, because if you're getting work that the Chinese people already, maybe Chinese people already good in that area, huh, you're struggling with the Chinese people for work. I feel like you cannot easily get jobs that Chinese people are also qualified to get, because there are a lot of Chinese people. So the jobs that internationals get are jobs that are for internationals. I'm talking about like teaching English, but there are still international. There are still a lot of Chinese people that can teach English. Oh, but sometimes I feel like some companies still want to employ international just to be like, oh yeah, I have an international in my company, something like that. But it doesn't mean that they are not Chinese people that are qualified for that job. So I just wanted to clear that. So guys, also marry Chinese, maybe fall in love with Chinese, or you can just find a Chinese person, marry the person. And one way people get jobs in China is, I know you people, a lot of in other countries people use apps, but I feel like one of the best way people get jobs in China is through relationship, like who you know. Okay, like go to Facebook, try to get Chinese friends, so that way you can be able to actually get a job. Maybe that person have a company or know someone that can help you. See, one way people get job here is by recommendation. People say, oh, I have a friend that can do this, and I say, oh, okay, recommend the person. So that's where people get job, not necessarily through like application, but yes, you can still apply. You can use LinkedIn to apply for jobs. Yes, you can use LinkedIn to apply for jobs. If you're already at home and then you want to come to China, you can check on LinkedIn, you can use it to apply for jobs, and you can also like find Chinese friends, check apps. I feel like getting married to a Chinese person is one of the easiest way to migrate, because obviously if you find a really nice Chinese person that you can get married to, good for you. But make sure that it's someone you truly love, not just because you want to migrate. Okay, you can also use students, use scholarship. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities here in China. I'm telling you guys, a lot. You can also even apply for, maybe you want to study Chinese. That's how a lot of people even stay and migrate to China. They try to like apply for Chinese course maybe for a year, and then while they are studying, they just decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to like work while I'm learning Chinese. Okay, guys, so I hope this video was really, really helpful. It's just like just a discussion, just telling guys the real facts and truths. I didn't want to like sugarcoat anything, how people literally migrate here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to my channel. Leave in the comment section below, guys, if you have any questions that you want to ask me. Don't also forget to actually follow me on Instagram. I share my daily activities here in China on Instagram, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.